Hey everybody, welcome to Live Lunch with KUDZUKIAN. I know you see a brand new face. So this is my guest for today. Actually, this edition of Live Lunch with KUDZUKIAN is Lunch with the Ladies. How about that? So this is Asha Emmanuel. She's our Director of User Experience here. And so she's here to join me. Of course, we're going to give some people a little bit of time to come on in. Make sure that you share this with your friends, your family, co-workers, anybody that you know are interested in starting a podcast. Go ahead and send it out to them. Tell them that we are live right now. And I know this is a little bit of an adjustment because in the past, month or so, we have been recording on Wednesdays. And so there's a slight schedule change because not only is Asha our Director of User Experience, she's the producer of this live lunch.
I am.
And Fun stuff. So, of course, let them, share this out with everybody. You know that we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on LinkedIn Live. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, make sure that you share them. I am glancing. I'm on Facebook now. I'm on LinkedIn now. And I'm on YouTube right now. So I can see them in real time. Just bring your questions in. Asha.
Hey, Misty.
How you feeling?
Hey, girl. I'm feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yeah, got to hang out for live lunch.
I love it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I didn't have any lunch today.
I know. I see Larry left, and so I was like, no lunch for the ladies.
Dang. That's on me. Nah, Larry, that's on you.
That's on Larry.
That's on you.
That's on Larry. Put it on Larry.
Put it on Larry. So, it's Tuesday. It's Giving Tuesday at that.
It is Giving Tuesday.
Yep. And so before we end this live lunch, we have a little something to show you at the end. So make sure you stay tuned to the end.
Stay tuned.
But we're going to talk about why we like podcasting.
Yes. Why do we like podcasting?
Asha.
Right.
Why do you like podcasting?
Oh my gosh. So I got into this business with Larry and Misty and all these other great people at KUDZUKIAN because deep down, I like podcasting.
Okay.
I really like podcasting, right? Because I feel like podcasting really gives a sense of opportunity, right? So it's like you have the opportunity to have your own voice. You don't have censorship. You don't have people downplaying you or anything like that. Like, for example, corporate America, as a Black woman, you are code switching all the time. All the time. It's like a second language.
Like, who are you?
Right? It's like a second language. Like you don't even know. It's like I speak two languages, English and code switch English. But it's like you don't have to do that with a podcast.
Yeah.
Because you are talking about your own experiences, your own challenges, or things that you really like.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that.
You don't. And I think for me, what I ultimately like, and I think to sum up everything you just said, you get to authentically be yourself.
Yes.
You can be your authentic self. And so the other part of podcasting, I really like watching podcasts of their guests because you get different perspectives and don't let them butt heads.
Oof.
It's
so spicy.
I hate to say it. I like drama.
Right? Most people do. It's so fun though, because like you said, you get to see different perspectives. And even if it's a podcast that you are really excited about or that you really like, hearing that juxtaposition is like, girl, get him. Every time. But it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And it constantly has you coming back for more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get involved with that podcast. You get involved with that host. They become a part of your family. It's like, did you hear what so-and-so said on the show, on the episode? Girl, go back and watch the episode. Watch that episode or listen to the episode. And that's another thing. I mean, you could watch it or you can listen to it. So you can do it while you're working out. You could do it while you're driving or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Did you have anything else?
Yeah,
I think those are things that, you just get to be yourself and just have fun with it. You get to have fun with it.
Another really good thing about podcasting is you can be a thought leader. Right? So if you are in a specific industry or anything like that, you can take your thoughts or what outside of the industry. Maybe you have censorship in your industry, right? You code switch in the industry and you like, but you really want to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
So you take your thought leadership and you go out.
Yeah.
Right? You can put it on the podcast. You can have different topics, right? So I have an example.
Give me an example.
I have an example. So did you watch Lovecraft Country?
I did not. Tell me briefly about it. Can you give me a quick summary? No? Okay.
But
I'll go back and look at it or listen to it. Is it video or audio?
So Lovecraft Country is a show.
Okay.
It's a TV show.
Okay.
And it was absolutely amazing.
Okay.
It meshed history, Black history with current events, like mystical elements. It was great.
I'm catching your drift.
It was great.
Okay.
It was great. But there was a podcast that accompanied it. And it was so great to listen to that podcast, like after you watch a new episode, because they affirmed things on the show. They made you go back and look at it again because you didn't know whether or not, you didn't see that.
Okay.
Right? And it was just fun.
It was fun?
It was just fun. The whole thing, the whole experience was fun.
Yeah,
and so that's great to be able to take a topic or a show or something that you're really excited about and expand on it. Make it a whole experience all the way through.
Yeah.
It's just completely
I
out of the
wonder
box.
how much planning went into that. That whole concept. We talk about development the past couple of weeks with our 5-step creative process, and I'm sure there was a major part of their development process.
For sure. Because one of the hosts of the show was a writer.
Okay.
Was one of the writers for the show. So, I mean, she had to pull double, triple duty, right? Writing the show and being on the podcast. But even her being a writer of the show, you got to see what other people thought about the show, right? So the other girl that was the host, she had nothing to do with the show.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay.
Right. She was just on the podcast. But I mean, you got to see her perspective of it. And you got to see you got Lovecraft Country. You have to go back and see it. If y'all seen Lovecraft Country, put in the comments, let me know. I think I'm gonna go back and binge watch it again. But it's like
watch me.
It's a heavy show, so binge watching may not be the best.
Listen, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna say, Asha, girl.
I know. As soon as you get back, when you get back to work, you can be like, girl, that show. Woo! It was a lot.
That's funny. So let's kind of bring it back and just kind of talk about, the podcast club, which is why all of this got started, just to give you information about the podcast club. And I think I've mentioned it before. We have a few people who are members of the podcast club. One being MJ in the Word.
MJ in the Word. Oh, I love MJ in the Word.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it. I love it.
I mean, that is a great example, another great example of thinking of thought leadership or expanding on your passion, right? So they're able to truly marry topics like inclusivity or anything in corporate America with spoken word. And it's like so amazing how those two things can even coexist, right? So if you haven't checked out MJ in the Word podcast, please go listen to MJ in the Word podcast. It's amazing. It's two Black women, and they are really shining a light on Black women's plights, Black women's things that they go through, any topics or whatever. And it's just it's just interesting how they marry spoken word into the mix of all those things, because spoken word is a creative outlet, which also helps your podcast, right? Being creative, being able to really show off your passion and show off the things that you are interested in your personal life as well as corporate America, or, you know, business, entrepreneurship, all those things. So MJ and the Word is awesome. I really like the podcast.
And definitely, like she said, make sure you check them out. And I think we also stated this before, we look to have those guests or those members come and be a part of this so that they can share their story with you, to kind of give you an idea of what their experience has been, kind of starting from the ground up. Another person, since we're talking about having your own voice, is Anastasis with the Anastasis Podcast. And Stacy, her focus is life transformation when people go through relocations.
Wow.
And how a lot of these individuals are emotionally connected to their homes or to things that's been with them for decades and decades, and it's hard for them to let go. And so me, because I'm not in the industry, I don't think about it, but she's in it. She's hands-on. She was just telling me yesterday, there's a person who literally has moved, but they keep going back to their own place, the old place, because they just can't let go. Wow. And so that's the idea of the Anastasis Podcast. And so, Stacy, shout out to you.
Yes.
And we look to have you on super, super soon.
Yes.
And she'll be launching her podcast, I think, this week. So make sure you check that out, the Anastasis Podcast.
Yeah.
So, there are a lot of opportunities for you to have your own voice. So, like we've stated before, don't get stuck. Whatever that idea is, go for it and just start. I don't have a parting quote like Larry Robinson does, but you know, every week he gives something super deep. Maybe at the end, me and Asha will come up with something.
We'll come.
And let's talk about access. You know, where can you listen?
Yes.
Where can you view these podcasts?
Oh my gosh, the access. The accessibility of a podcast is so helpful to getting your message out, to getting your voice out, to letting people know what's important to you, what should be important to them. You know, just like a lot of citizen news outlets now, right? They feel like mainstream media is not showing enough stuff or giving enough information. And so they've created their own outlets and their own platforms. And so podcasting is another opportunity for you to do something very similar. You know, you can listen to podcasts on Spotify, Audible, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Amazon,
Stitcher, Amazon, YouTube. And then even more so, a little bit of a heavier lift maybe, is to do a video podcast. Come on, video. Come on, video. You know, you do a video podcast. You can be on YouTube. You can get on OTT platforms. You know, especially if you come through KUDZUKIAN, and then we can help you out with that.
What's OTT again?
Over the top for cable cutters, right? So people that have those smart TVs and they watch on Roku or Hulu or things like that.
Come on. Yeah. So there are multiple ways that people can access your podcast, and you can access and just kind of figure out what other people are doing. Of course, if you're in the beginning stage, the ideation development stage, and don't know where to start, you can always start there, or you can start with the podcast club, because we do have affordable options for you. And I believe it's in the link below. There are a few, the podcast club list, I believe, is available for you, as well as the suggested equipment list for you to take a look. We met with Josh, so we sat with Josh. I think that was the third or fourth episode, and he kind of gave us a rundown of equipment and things like that. So
go back and watch it. Go back and watch. All of our lives are still on Facebook, still on YouTube. So go back and watch those, because the first episode gives some amazing information. Second episode really details how you jump into podcasting. What steps do you need to take, and how do you need to start that process? Then the third episode, we go into equipment, right, with Josh. So go back and watch that stuff. Okay?
It's all there for you. It's all there for you. Yes. So, Asha, I had fun with you. I really, really did. Now, as promised, it is Giving Tuesday.
It's Giving Tuesday.
It is Giving Tuesday. And I believe Larry mentioned, if you're not familiar, we do have a nonprofit, KUDZUKIAN Media Group. If you're familiar with the journey, we just launched the 7th season earlier this month. And so that's out now. Exciting news. Her Journey Memphis is coming to you in March.
Her Journey.
So here is a little information about it. There you go.
Hey y'all, hey! After 7 successful seasons of The Journey, we're now teeing up to launch Her Journey in March. Yes, we're excited about it, and we hope you are too. Hosted by yours truly, that's me, Joy Doss. Her Journey is a video podcast that takes us along the pathways to success of some of Memphis's most remarkable women as they talk about the setbacks and comebacks, good church language right there, pitfalls and progress, and the life lessons that shape them. Much like our male counterparts, these women represent the many faces of success, but also the many ways the pink ceiling has been shattered across various industries. Through these intimate conversations, Her Journey provides a roadmap for young Black girls to navigate their own paths, bridging the gap between aspiration and achievement. If they can see it, they can be it. It's more than just a podcast. It's a movement. And it's a movement to empower young women and girls and encourage community engagement. This Giving Tuesday, that's today, we're raising money to support this very necessary endeavor. We talk ad nauseum all the time about what needs to happen in our city. Now is the time to be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Our girls and our boys need us, so get involved. Be a part of the solution by donating to this initiative as we do our part to ignite the dreams of Gen Next. Text The Journey to 53555, no spaces. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of young Memphians. Again, text The Journey, no spaces, to 53555. Thank you very much. Get involved.
Her Journey. I'm so excited for Her Journey.
Yeah,
because The Journey has done such an amazing job. I mean, it's had over 7 million views.
That's crazy.
Worldwide. Like, we've gotten people from all over, and it's made such an impact on young boys. So we've gone into middle schools, talking with young boys about the journey, bringing in some of the guests for the journey. And I'm so excited about us having the opportunity to do that for young girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because girls are they have so much risk, just like, well, different risk than boys, but still a lot of risk, especially underprivileged girls, Black and brown girls. You know, I'm just so excited for us to be able to look and see these different successful women that have been able to navigate through those challenges and through those struggles, and, you know, get to a bigger goal and get to a better prize at the end. Absolutely. So I'm excited for Her Journey.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be powerful and impactful. And so, like we said, make sure one is Giving Tuesday. So if you were able to scan the QR code or take a picture of it, or you can also go to KUDZUKIAN.org and donate there. Her Journey is coming in March, and as you saw, Joy, she's actually the host of that show. And so, so we are excited about embarking on that new journey with Her Journey.
Yes.
And so, Thank y'all again for Ladies Lunch.
Ladies Lunch.
Ladies Lunch. We gotta do that. We gotta do that. Ladies Lunch. What?
I'm gonna have my nails really.
Ladies Lunch.
Ladies Lunch.
So again, our internet was a little off, and so if you had any questions, I'm sure it's gonna pop up. But always, once you go back, put them in the comments, and we'll be sure to address them next week. So make sure you mark your calendars for next Tuesday at 12 for Live Lunch with KUDZUKIAN. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you, Asha, for joining me.
Thank you. I had fun taking over Larry's spot. I had fun.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye. Good job, Asha.
Whew.